On the night of my wedding, my bride leaned close to my ear and whispered 5 words that made my blood run cold. Please forgive me. It's not yours. At first I thought she was joking, but when I looked into her eyes, she wasn't smiling. And in that moment, standing in front of 200 guests, cameras flashing, our families crying with happiness, I realized I might have just married someone I didn't truly know. And what I discovered that night completely destroyed the life I thought I had. But to understand how everything fell apart, you need to hear how it all began. 3 years earlier, my life was painfully ordinary. I was 29, working as a project manager for a small tech company in Chicago. My days were spreadsheets, emails, and late-night takeout. Nothing dramatic. Nothing exciting. Until I met Emily. It happened in the most cliché way possible. A coffee shop. I had just spilled my drink all over my laptop bag. I was panicking, trying to wipe everything down, when someone slid a stack of napkins across the table. I looked up. And there she was, brown hair, green eyes, the kind of smile that felt warm even from across the table. Looks like you're fighting a losing battle, she said. I laughed nervously. Yeah, this is how my day is going. She sat down across from me without even asking. That was Emily, confident, comfortable, like she had known you for years even if you had just met. We talked for an hour, then 2. I missed 2 meetings that afternoon. And somehow, I didn't care, because for the first time in years, I felt something real. Our relationship moved fast. Within 6 months, we were practically living together. Emily was the kind of person who made life feel bigger, spontaneous. Road trips. Midnight drives, cooking, disasters that somehow turned into pizza delivery, and wine on the floor of the living room. She remembered little things about me no one else noticed. My favorite childhood movie. The way I hated olives. The fact that thunderstorms helped me sleep. She made me feel seen. And honestly, I fell hard. A year later, I proposed. It wasn't fancy. Just a quiet moment on a lake dock during sunset. I expected nerves, maybe hesitation. But Emily didn't even let me finish my sentence before saying yes. She cried. I cried. A couple nearby started clapping. It felt like something out of a movie. For the next year we planned the wedding. Our families loved each other. Our friends said we were that couple, the perfect couple. And honestly, I believed it to. Until small things started happening, little moments that didn't make sense. The first time was a text message. Emily was in the shower. Her phone buzzed on the counter. I wasn't snooping, but the screen lit up. And I saw a message preview. I miss you. When can I see you again? My stomach dropped, but when she came out of the bathroom, I asked calmly, who's texting you? She checked her phone. Then laughed. Oh, that's my cousin Jason. He's dramatic. She showed me the conversation. Family jokes, memes, random stuff. I felt stupid for even thinking something was wrong. So I let it go, but something in my gut didn't feel right. And I wish I had listened to it sooner, because that moment, that was the first crack in the perfect picture. The second moment came 3 months before our wedding. Emily started working late, a lot. New project, new clients, new emergency meetings. At first I supported her. But sometimes she'd come home past midnight. Exhausted. Quiet. Different. When I asked if everything was okay, she would just hug me and say, work is just crazy right now. I believed her. Because when you love someone, you want to believe them. Then one night something strange happened. I woke up at 2 a.m. Emily wasn't in bed. I walked into the kitchen. She was sitting at the table in the dark, just staring at her phone. When she saw me, she jumped, actually jumped, like I had caught her doing something wrong. Hey, I said softly. Everything okay? She forced a smile. Yeah, just couldn't sleep. But when she stood up to hug me, I noticed something strange. Her hands were shaking. And that's when the tiny voice in my head whispered something I didn't want to hear. Something might be very wrong. But what happened next, I never saw coming.
Subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with new stories every day.
2 months before the wedding, things got worse. Emily became distant. Not cold, just distracted. Like her mind was somewhere else. We would be watching a movie and she'd suddenly check her phone. Over and over. If I asked who she was texting, work stuff, always work. Always urgent, always private. One night I decided to do something I had never done before. I checked the phone bill. I No. It sounds crazy, but something in my gut wouldn't stop screaming. And when I opened the call history, I felt my heart stop. One number. Repeated. Dozens of times. Late night calls, long calls. Sometimes over an hour. The number wasn't saved in her contacts, but it appeared almost every night. My hands were shaking. I told myself there had to be an explanation. There had to be. So the next day, I called the number. A man answered. Hello. My chest tightened. Hi. Who is this? Who's asking? I'm trying to reach Emily. Double quotes silence. Then he said something that made my blood freeze. She told me not to contact her anymore. My mind went blank. What? Another pause. Then the man sighed. Look, I don't want drama. She's getting married, right? My heart started pounding. Yes. Another long silence. Then he said something I will never forget. I guess she didn't tell you about me. And that's when everything changed. I confronted Emily that night. I tried to stay calm, but my voice was shaking. Who is Daniel? Her face went pale instantly. That told me everything. She sat down slowly, wouldn't look at me. I was going to tell you, she whispered. That sentence alone felt like a knife. Tell me what? Then she said something I never expected. He's my ex. Apparently they had dated years before we met. Bad breakup. Lots of unresolved feelings. He moved away. They lost contact. Until 6 months ago, he reached out again. And somehow, they started talking. At first just catching up. Then late night conversations. Then emotional stuff. Then she stopped talking. I felt like I couldn't breathe. Did you cheat on me? I asked quietly. She looked at the floor. I swear I didn't. I wanted to believe her. But something still didn't make sense. Then why were you hiding it? Tears started rolling down her face. Because I didn't know how to tell you. That answer made everything worse. For weeks we argued. Cried. Tried to fix things. Emily promised she would cut him off completely. She blocked his number, deleted everything. She said she chose me. She said she loved me. And stupidly, I believed her. We continued with the wedding plans. Everything seemed normal again, but deep down, something felt unfinished. Like a storm waiting to explode. And I had no idea how right that feeling was, because 2 days before our wedding, I discovered the truth, and it was worse than anything I imagined. Emily left her laptop open. A notification popped up. An email from Daniel. The subject line read, "We need to talk about the baby." My heart stopped. I clicked it. And what I read next destroyed my world. The email was short, just one sentence, but it felt like a bomb, exploding in my chest. You can't just pretend I'm not the father. I read it 3 times, maybe 4. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely breathe. Father? What father? Emily wasn't pregnant. At least I didn't think she was, or maybe she just hadn't told me yet. I confronted her immediately. She walked into the apartment smiling, talking about seating charts. Cake flavors, normal, wedding stuff. And then she saw my face. Everything changed instantly. What happened? She asked. I turned the laptop toward her. She read the email, and the color drained from her face. Then she started crying hard. Like someone whose entire world had collapsed. I was going to tell you, she whispered. I laughed. Not because it was funny. But because my brain couldn't process the situation. Tell me what, Emily? She looked at me through tears. And finally said the truth. I'm pregnant. My entire body went numb. How far? Her voice was barely audible. 8 weeks. 8 weeks. Our wedding was in 2 days. My head started spinning. Is it mine? That question hung in the air like a gunshot. She couldn't answer. That was the worst part. Eventually she whispered the truth. 2 months ago, when things were already tense between us, she met Daniel. Just once. She said it was a mistake. One night. Regret immediately after. But now, there was a baby, and she didn't know who the father was. I walked out of the apartment. I didn't scream. I didn't break anything. I just walked. 4 hours. My phone kept buzzing. Messages from Emily. Calls from family. Wedding planners asking questions. I ignored everything because the life I thought I had was gone. The next day I made the hardest decision of my life. I called off the wedding. Families were furious, guests confused, Emily devastated, but I couldn't marry someone while carrying that kind of doubt. It would destroy us both. But here's the twist no one expected. 3 weeks later, Emily called me. She had taken a DNA test. The baby was mine, not Daniel's. When she told me, I didn't know what to feel. Relief, anger, sadness, love, all mixed together. But something inside me had already broken. The trust. Once it shatters, you can't fully rebuild it. Today, 2 years later, I'm still part of my son's life. He's the best thing that ever happened to me. But Emily and I, we never got married. Some betrayals leave scars too deep to ignore. And sometimes the hardest truth is this: you can love someone and still know you can never trust them again. And to this day, I still hear those 5 words she whispered at the altar: please forgive me, it's not yours. Because in that moment, everything changed forever.